All right. Good morning, everyone. This week's is a Thanksgiving week, but I'll probably upload some schedule and like especially and other stuff. But before I will tell you, then I will know that the bad news today because another strange of the celebrity deaths the of this year because it's pretty much since 2016. So and or even 2020, I don't know. But this is more different than usual. We lost actors like um, um, Jake Hackman, Terrence Stapp, Val Kilmer, um, Michael Madsen, and a long bunch of others. And especially the Ozzy Osbourne. So yeah, that's not actually a movie actor, it's singer, but yeah, he sadly all passed away this year, and I think oh, and David Lynch, I think, the director of many classics like um, Dune, the original one, before Denis Villeneuve came on board, Mulholland Drive, um Blue Velvet, and a bunch of others. So yeah, it's sad to see he's passed away this year, but it was pretty much another celebrity that came out this year was pretty much. I mean, the 2025 was a mediocre year because of politics and strategy about the problems in America, and it's like 2060 all over again. But a recent death came out from all the way from Germany, is Udo Kier, who's passed away at age 81 today or yesterday, which according confirmed by Dilbert McBride. Udo Kier was been for quite, who been for quite some time. He's basically the German answer to Eric Roberts. I mean, he's a older brother of Julia Roberts. Or probably know this basically to become um, is basically the filmmaker who's been not filmmaker actor who apart know he's been there for quite some time. He's been basically he's a they who know like he did like the making B movies lately, and he basically um well he's basically the yeah, because Eric Adams was based known on working no movie called including the Runway Train alongside John Wood, and especially the movie called The Path of the Greenwich Village alongside Mickey Rourke. So this is like this movie is basically I think that Aaron Roberts was making a bunch of movies lately, recent years. It's like releasing on the bought again DVDs and all that view on demand stuff. But more, I mean, I not Aaron Roberts is basically the answer. Like I we know these are big budget big movies lately because he's releasing mostly sort of like a mockbusters and something like that. But it's basically much like the fellow actor who's also passed away is Tom Sizemore. But I mean, Aaron Roberts was basically appeared the recent cameo supporter role in the David Chazelle's uh, Babylon movie. But yeah, I think the era of Robbins was basically mostly in the B budget B movies that releasing all time at time with VOD or and special DVD. But even compared with Udo Kier, because he's been a lot. He's basically again he's a German ancestor, Eric Roberts, and he's been quite a lot of resume he started in film career, but he been in a lot of films lately. It's basically he did a lot of a couple of indie and more big budget films, mostly like say mostly with directors like careers like Gans Vassell, which we mentioned the acting, including films like Maya Papa Abelo and Eva Calgos would Gets the Blues alongside pre Pulp Fiction Uma Thurman, as well as a couple of English movies I'm familiar with, including Ashby Therapeutic Detected, uh, The Adventures of Pinocchio, Michael Bay's Armageddon, the first Blade movie, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's End of Days, action film. That's Fear.com was a, basically the it's so bad it's good horror film. It also and the god awful Run Rain movie and it appeared in the Sober Grindhouse movie was basically the double feature was directed by Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, and the first Halloween movie, and especially and some couple long sports movies, and the recent Pro on the Cell Block '99 with alongside Vince Vaughn. So yeah, I know the resume was pretty much the more like the gay paycheck of the movies, and I think this is basically compared like you say the Aaron Roberts did, but he also and because the more recent film, the Secret Agent or the Os Agente Secreto was basically the final film of doing a lifetime. The film was a Brazilian film. It's probably it starts rock and mortar, as they appear in the as called warfare movie, but yeah, yeah, because he's Brazil, but he gained breakthrough in America. But even after seeing it, like last year's Alex Gall's Warfare, this movie was pretty much because Walker wasn't breaking in more indie market. They received good reviews, but actually rave reviews. I mean, critical acclaim. But basically, I pretty much go see in early next year because of Lucky Dogs, the Swedish distribution of this movie. But we'll see. But I'm excited for the Secret Agent, and this is more going to be a final. What prefer the final film of Udo Kier. So yeah, he been working with quite like he's a tour like mostly a German actors like per weekend like Klaus Kinski who knows a bit for quite some time. He been a lot of more like he worked with the Werner Herzog, who's he also got a lot of outrage and stuff. So you see on the YouTube video. So check it out. But it also appeared in the Italian spaghetti western movies, but it's basically more popular in Germany and even Italy. But back in the day, when movie studios had probably American studios before, like the golden age of cinema, like Scorsese, Ford Coppola, or something like that. But yeah, this is the cinema, but back in the day. So yeah, and also the other German actors recently because of the become the poor what described as a become a well like Daniel Brühl, Til Schweiger, Sandra Hüller, and even Ricky Quips. Yeah, I know he's born in Luxembourg, but yeah, it's actually German, but he actually also Luxembourgian, but that's another count. But even Sandra Hüller was probably going to break through in the Hollywood you see in the couple indie in German films basically, but if it came to Hollywood with the opposite upcoming film, the song alongside Ryan Gosling in the Project Hail Mary, directed by Lord Miller. So yeah, we will see next year, but well, I think this is gonna be a most impressive movie. It was pretty much the Gosling's songs was basically after Bobby movie. This one they could continue acting more as the auteur actors one appeared to, and Gosling was no exception. He's pretty basic making this space movie, and then the making of Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. So can't wait to see. But anyway, and if you know the Thunder Hooter is also in the Authority of the Fall, you know that movie was known that the included ones that couple of scenes when included song the instrumental more like a instrumental version of 50 Cent's PIMP. So that's a good needed drop of that song. That's a fit of the movie. I not even deserve. But anyway, that out of the way, let's over the article from Vertical and then talk about that. Udo Kier was German actor and cult icon who collabed with everyone from Andy Warhol to Lost for Twitter to Madonna, 10 of the Sunday morning. According to his partner and artist, Deepak McBride, he's 81. He was 81 years old. Along with the more than 200 films in the expanded body of work, Kier break up collaboration with Warhol with along his most celebrated. Kier was starting a theater role in the both 1973's Flesh of Frankenstein and 1974's Blood for Dracula, both directed by Paul Mosley and then produced by Warhol. The films is spread throughout the reimagining of the classics Hollywood monsters that Kier bringing that haunting yet community into the spin of the entire characters. Now, I know the recent this year, like basically the between Frankenstein and Dracula, like both of direct like Get the Toto's Frankenstein came out on Netflix. It's got rave reviews, and I it was receiving gonna Oscar award season glory. But I think that the Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, and J.K. Rowling there certainly are Oscar nominations, but I always seen that that movie's got a lot of attention. But this is more like a the define what did of the the Shape of Water, but I think this going to be more different than usual. But I want to go be see Best Picture winner and all that stuff. So I think this is going to be winning the Oscar. Luc Besson's Dracula on the hand was not so much. I mean, and he's started the same actor, Carly Warder Jones, but yeah, yeah. I think the releasing on home. I think that movie is pretty much mediocre. I mean, after like, look, Luc Besson is a terrible person. He's a lot of problems lately, but I think that's not as good as say the Weinstein brothers, if you call that a hobby one. But yeah, Luc Besson is a. I think Greta Del Toro is a better director than Luc Besson, but otherwise, anyway, um, the pair of them films that made Kier famous in the span of the next 2 decades, working for Europe and collaborating with the legendary writer-director Ran, Rainer Werner Fassbender. Um, that name made no sense. It's not to confuse with the Michael Fassbender is actually Irish, but not German. Anyway, on films like The Station Master's Wife, The Third Generation, and Lida Mollin, then the at the Berlin Film Festival, a Kier feature met the future two-time Oscar-nominated director Gosford Van Sant, who Kier credited obscured of the American work permit of the SAG card. That is the My Private Idaho and the most notorious bad movie that got even cowgirls get the blues. And yes, and again, it starts pre Pulp Fiction, Uma Thurman, and Keanu Reeves again. This is appeared in the two movies. Anyway, um, yeah, and anyway, back to what it said. In 1991, the set why introduced Keir in the American audience in the his comedy age drama My Private Idaho, loosely based on Shakespeare's Henry IV. Um, Kier appeared as a support role and alongside stars the late great River Phoenix and once the and pre The Matrix, John Wick, Keanu Reeves. Around the same time, Kier began his lifelong collaboration with Luthier, starring in the late 80s The Epidemic. Kier appeared in the 1991 film Europa. Uh, Before they appeared in separate episodes of Lutier's running horror thriller series The Kingdom through the 90s and noughts. Um, there are other films collaborations, including The Breaking Your Waves, uh, Dancer in the Dogville, and Media Chodia, and the one film I'm probably not allowed to say on YouTube. Um, all the latter suck, but I think the Lost for Tourism, like the auteur art house film director, it's not as good as the Ingmar Bergman or the Russian director I can't pronounce, but yeah, I think not even want to tell you say things. Okay, the 1990s also saw the Kira supported role in the major Hollywood productions, such as Ace Ventur's Big Detective, Michael Bay's Armageddon, and the first Blade movie alongside Wesley Snipes. Stripes, sorry. It also appeared in the Madonna book. Again, I'm not allowed to say, and so I'm not allowed to say too. And made the appearance of the music videos from again, not allowed to say. and the debut for her album. Not a lot to say. More recently, the Kier and appeared in the Caper Medlos Fido or was Darling, the secret agent. The film earned Star Walker Modern of honor of the Best Actor at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival. Born Udo Kier in Cologne, Germany, and hospital was the bombed by the Allied forces, but he moved to London at age 18 after meeting Fassbender at the bar. He said, "I like so yeah. I think he's actually born in Germany, Cologne, back when he know that the West Germany and East because it's separate. But now he lives in London. But he moved to London. Became mentor the director as a pretty much known for. So yeah. To continue, I like the attention. So I become the actor. He told the reality Peter Dugard in the 2024 interview. After working between Europe and US for the many decades, uh, Kier settled in Los Angeles and Palm Springs, where he would live in the former mid-century library and cultivated the interest in that art, caricature, and collected. He was also a fixture at the Palm Springs Film Festival when the one received accolades for fans. So, yeah, it's so sad that the German actor, relevant German actor, was passed away, and uh, and I respect Udo Kier's career legacy was between, like, say, the working with Ron Trier and and especially the more American productions, mostly like in My Private Idaho, um, Armageddon, and the first Blade movie, and even the first Ace Ventura movie, with the because of Jim Carrey got a breakthrough role. So yeah, that's one known for. But still, I'm gonna mention that the he also appeared the uncredited role in the Daniel Argento's the original Suspiria movie. He actually uncredited, but if you know, I probably got I think a supporting role. I think uncredited, but if you recent seen the Suspiria was a cult classic film, but not as good as the Luca Guadagnino's recent Suspiria remake with Dakota Johnson, but yeah, I'm not talking about that, but I think I'm probably even sure this is pretty much the guy who later made, like, say, the guy who fresh off from the Call Me by Your Name and this later the challengers, but I'm not sure about this movie exists, but like, yeah, I pretty much have seen that remake, but yeah, you check out the original. But anyway, but so there, I think that. Udo Kier's legacy was been for the more like the art house and more major parts in the cinema. It been a lot for quite some time. He's a character actor in Germany and then mostly overseas, but it mostly be a more like a it's mostly of them again, like I said, the mostly filmmakers Eric Roberts has been a for comparison, but Udo Kier was more different. He's been collaborated with many auteur filmmakers, mostly in the art house, like again, Wasmar Trier, Gosmar Sad, Werner Herzog, Ronnie Wiener Fassbender, Daniel Argenta, Alexander Pierre, the director of later made like films like Election, About Smith, and more recently, the holdovers stars Paul Giamatti, another character actor who's gonna yell a lot because if you see that, because it's not Nick Cage type person. Like, yeah, I know the rest, but still, uh, yeah, Udo Kier has been for quite some time, but he's a known to be character actor. Been it's been like I said, the German ancestor Eric Robbins, who's been in all political films. He had appeared a lot of films. Who's never stopped quit acting. So, but I really respect that. It was basically the so bad he's good actor. Like he's been like not as good as Nick Cage or any other actors, but he's a perfecter. So yeah. But then also the another actor was the same person that passed away. So here he is over at rotorreel.com. So Udo Kier is the minute still sitting a German actor who's faced with a switch between the monster and moose, starring Sunday morning yesterday, according to his father and artist Tilbert McBride. He's 81. Kier was born in Cologne near the World War II under concentrations. If they feel they're under Kier-esque, the hospital was born for bomb months after his birth, and his mom had to rock out of a rubble. For the moment, that one of the most aesthetic and fascinating acting career was to come. Over over the spanning nearly 6 decades, Kier starred in more than 200 movies. Yeah, not as good as the Eric Roberts did the 700 projects that then, leaving behind the legacy of for Fukato, um, authored uncharacterized roles. The man will elevate anything he was in. He was terrorized in the midst of the as the fashion designers and fan spreaders, the bitter tears of the pen for Kant, suffer the neon horror of the doggo and gentle's Suspiria was actually supporting uncredited role, of course. As the light of the fanboy vampire in the first Blade movie, in the prison of the Portacatis in cases of Roland Sweater in the middle Chaudia and breaking the rapes. Last saw the Kier in this year's uh, Cannes winning Kier Midoni shot Furious the secret agent, where the in the this 10 years of screen time, he did what he always did, the left no mark, linger long after he left to the flame. For a few years earlier, Kier was starring in the same director, made Philos Baku, whereas he's also the stole the show again. So yeah, you probably know this. You saw that a couple like a Brazilian director who's found on the German actor will probably appear in the international audience. So Kier is perhaps the best known for his art house work. Was a forgettable as a creepy German John who's a pickup of the Rent boys, Keanu Reeves, and the late great River Phoenix in the Gospel Sounds My Own Private Idaho, and she's was recurring presence of in the films for Toronto Trail. Some of the music of the Danish director appeared in the nine of these movies. Even the S-Quick Cider couldn't resist recasting Kier of the his last two films, probably in the Cell Block 99 and Dragging um, across contract starring alongside Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson respectively. For decades, Kier was a cinema secret weapon. Directors called on him when they needed the fitness and electricate, not to mention electric screen presence. She's thrived under the grubs who said she is in the surreal and bizarre reminder audience that acting that could be the high writer of acting originality. One of the last projects will be the Hikio Kochiya's unreleased horror game Udi, which Jojo Dio was also producing. Sounds about the right for for such an unpredictable actor. And yeah, I think the reason that Hikio Kochiya was never doing the had to do in the game about what Judy was producing, but that never happened. But they made the Death Stranding sequel instead. So because of Elle Fanning in it. So yeah. But anyway, so sad the Udo Kier, the German actor, was passed away for now at age 81 because the legacy of the German actor would live on, especially the mostly films, mostly from Art House and more big budget films, mostly from like including Michael Bay's Armageddon, which you can watch on Disney Plus or Hulu. But and especially the first Play movie, which you can watch on HBO Max. But yeah, because the acting career has been for quite some time, but it's a because like I said, the German answers to Eric Roberts that's worked, but Udo Kier was basically the difference. He's been up for more like independent art house films and more big budget, or even the more the mid-sized budget films, mostly any released on VOD or DVDs back when the physical media was relevant. So sad that 2025 was a terrible year of deaths, and since 2016, and Udo Kier was one of them. So rest in peace, Udo Kier, or as they're called in German said, Ruhe Frieden. That means do that. Ruhe Frieden, Liebe Kier. We will miss you so much. So that's the video for today. Thank you for watching, and see you later. And keep watching on One Me. Bye bye.